Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. So today I will discuss a hadith with you. The Prophet ﷺ said, as narrated by Tirmidhi, من أصبح منكم آمنا في سربه معافا في جسده عنده قوت يومه فكأنما حيزت له الدنيا بحذافيرها. Whoever among you begins the day feeling family security, he's secure in his family, and he has a good health, and possessing the provision for this day, not even the second day or tomorrow. It is as he possessed the entire world, as if he has the entire world. You don't need anything else. This is all what you need. You need the safety in your family. You need to be healthy, and you need just to have even the food for today. Don't think about tomorrow. The reason I'm bringing this hadith because I felt this and the importance of safety when I was in Egypt during 2011. I remember in January 28th, we had this purge when after the revolution, the police forces just left the streets. They opened the prisons for thugs and thieves, and they gave them weapons, and the army just left the streets. And in Egypt, we're not allowed to carry weapons. There is no way that you can get a gun or certified gun. So people start to run away, go and try to protect their families and their homes. So they started to have this around the houses or the buildings, people just carrying sticks. So all what we have, just small sticks, either we get it from a chair or something, just carry something that we can protect ourselves, or a kitchen knife. And we were against RPGs, bombs, and machine guns. And I remember a day that I was standing, they said they heard a lot of screaming and lots of shooting. So they asked us to put all the kids and the women in the mosque and try to get all the men to try to protect them from outside the mosque. And at this time, I remember that as the screaming started to get closer, I hear machine guns, I hear ladies and women are screaming, and even men. And all what I can do is just pray and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm not the next. This is all what I can do. There is nothing you can do. You just will be wiped out with a machine gun. None of the people that were standing will have a gun or anything. Just a machine gun will take care of all of those, and they go inside and rape the woman. It lasts for, I think, 2-3 days, but those were the worst 3 days. I felt the value of this hadith. That in here, alhamdulillah, Allah, alhamdulillah, that we go at night, we have a warm meal, we can get in a warm bed, and we're not worried about explosion that's coming to explode the place, or we hear screaming outside, and we sleep safely until the morning. This is a great ni'mah that no one knows how much this ni'mah until it's taken from him. The reason I'm saying this is because we are in great ni'mah, subhanallah. This ni'mah, our brothers and sisters in Burma, they're not having it. They're being destroyed in mass killing. They don't have this warm meal at night and warm bed that they sleep and they feel they're safe. If you look at what's happening over there, hundreds of thousands, they've been killed and being kicked out. And even the people that hundreds of thousands that are trying to escape, they're either being tortured to death, slaughtered in the way, or people they're not taking them out. The way that they're killing, if you look at the pictures, it's not even human way. They're burning them alive. They're slaughtering them. They're raping the women. The UN, they're saying this is the worst of decades of mass killing and torturing. They torture people to death. We've been hearing about people being tortured to death during the early age of Islam, but this is similar to it. And the only thing they're standing is just because they said La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. The only thing they've done in their life is that they are Muslims. That's why it's very important to say this hadith, this dua, to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the bounty that He gave us of safety. In the morning and in the evening. In the morning you say, Allahumma inni asbahtu minka fi ni'mah wa afiyah wa sitr. فأتم علي نعمتك وعافيتك وسترك في الدنيا والآخرة. Oh Allah, I started my day with a bounty of you of safety, health, and cover. O Allah, complete your bounty on me and your cover in this life and in the hereafter. It's a very great dua to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the safety that not everyone in this nation, in this ummah, is enjoying. Thank Allah every minute of your life that you're not tested in your safety, that you're not tested with a hard task like what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested the Sahaba before us. The reason in this is another hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's agreed upon by Bukhari and Muslim. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, مثل المؤمنين في توادهم وتراحمهم وتعاطفهم مثل الجسد إذا اشتكى منه عضو تداعى له سائر الجسد بالسهر والحمى. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying about the believers, how they treat each other. The believers in their mutual kindness, compassion, and sympathy. He gives 3 synonyms to the same word. Are just like one body, physical body. It's like one body. You know when your body is feeling, if your finger is aching, you don't say it's just a finger. Your entire body will be feeling this. Your entire body will have fever and will be responding to this pain in this small finger. And the Prophet ﷺ said, this is the same as the mu'mineen. When one of the limbs suffer in your body, the whole body responds to it with wakefulness and fever. This is the mu'mineen to each other. So the least we can feel to our brothers and sisters, just to make dua for them. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يوشك أن تداعى عليكم الأمم من كل أفق كما تتداعى الأكلة على قصعتها. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم told the Sahaba about today, the day that we have today. He told them the nations, the people will be soon summon one another. They will call each one. Come on, there's an easy meal, there's an easy take. Come. They will be calling each other to attack us. Similar to people when eating, when we have a great feast and we're inviting each other. Come on, there's a great dish here, easy take. Come on to share with us. كما تتداعى الأكلة على قصعتها. The Sahaba wondered from this. They said, قلنا من قلة بنا يومئذ يا رسول الله. Are we going to be small number at this time? The Prophet ﷺ replied, قال لا. No. You will be numerous at the time. أنتم يومئذ كثير. The largest number of people in a religion today is the Muslims. We are large in number. ولكنكم غثاء كغثاء السيل. But you will be scum and rubbish like that carried down by a torrent. غثاء السيل, that we don't have any value. We don't care about each other. We don't go for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Exactly like the verse is saying. تثاقلتم إلى الأرض. That we go to the world gains, not for what Allah asks for us, not for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ينزع الله المهابة من قلوب عدوكم ويجعل في قلوبكم الوهن. That Allah will take the fear
from the chest of your enemy, the fear of you. And this was what had the Sahaba and the great time, that Allah put the fear because they were going for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah put the fear in their enemy, so they were afraid of them, they respect them. But because the way that we follow in our lives today, that has been taken from the chest of the enemies. And then Allah put the wahan in our hearts. So the Sahaba asked the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what's wahan? What do you mean by wahan? Allah's Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he replied, Hubbul hayati wa karahiyat al-maut. Love of the world gain, love of your work, of your kids, of your car, of your luxurious life, and dislike of death. Dislike of going to the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Dislike of the hereafter. You're not looking forward for the hereafter. This life in your heart is bigger than Jannah. When I read this, today it's happening to our brothers and sisters, and we're here safe, alhamdulillah. But what will happen if we are next? You see what is happening around the world, as the Prophet ﷺ said. All the nations are attacking us. We are the target. You see what's happening to us here in US as well. You don't know what will happen next. What's your situation if we are like them being tortured? Would you like that the rest of the ummah just protecting their safety and they don't care at us? Think about it. Put yourself in their shoe, in their place. What they will feel today. What we will feel if this happened to us. May Allah protect all of us.
We are weak. We don't have that much resources. We can't do anything. But we have things that we can do in our hands today. First thing, that from here we can try to educate the media. We try to go to the governors. We try to send letters to the political parties. There is a site that was specially for this, for the Americans. It's called BurmaMuslims.org, and it's called the Task Forces for the USA. They have some kind, I mean, it's not like donation or carrying money. They just have some tasks that we can do. What we can do as Muslims here towards our brothers. Tomorrow, this Saturday, they have a rally and demonstration in Seattle. It will be from noon to 2 p.m. The least we can do is to go there and show that we do not agree with this. Yeah, alhamdulillah that we're not in their situation. So this is, we should thank Allah every day. This is the dua that one of the ad'iyah that we say in the morning, which is the dua that we say in the morning, Allahumma inni asbahtu minka bi ni'matin wa afiyatin wa sitr. Allahumma atimma alayya ni'mataka wa afiyataka wa sitra. We say it where we're believing when we see what's happening around us. In Syria, in Burma, in Kashmir, in Iraq. What these feeling is just not the absence of safety. It's the torture and inhuman treatment that they're seeing. So the least that we can show over there, and we try to show the support to the world. And sometimes, you know, we say, okay, that's the weekend, and the kids, they have this and this and this. And we've been teaching the kids that about the Sahaba, they go this way, they go this way, Talha ibn Ubaidullah, but we comment these things, and we don't support our brothers. While reading this, and I'm discussing with myself, shall I go or not? I just remember in Surah At-Tawbah, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يا أيها الذين آمنوا ما لكم إذا قيل لكم انفروا في سبيل الله اثاقلتم إلى الأرض. O you who believe, what is the matter with you when it is said to you, mobilize in the cause of Allah, just go for the sake of Allah, you cling heavily to earth. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, أرضيتم بالحياة الدنيا. Do you prefer the present life over the hereafter? And Allah is continuing. فما متاع الحياة الدنيا في الآخرة إلا قليل. Do you prefer the present life over the hereafter? The enjoyment of the present life compared to the hereafter is only a little. And when I'm reading this, it's like this was revealed for Ghazwat Tabuk. It was a tough Ghazwa. When they were going without even something to carry them in a very hot weather. It's not like what we have today. And when it was told about Ka'b ibn Malik, one of the great Sahaba, because it's tough and people were like, it's hard even for the Sahaba to do it. And it's told them, it's like when Allah asks you to go for the sake of Allah, you're just getting behind. And subhanallah, alhamdulillah that we're not asked to do something as heavy and as tough as this. Alhamdulillah that we haven't been tested in something like Ghazwat Tabuk. But it's something little like going to Seattle and we just sacrificed a couple of hours and you find people still lagging behind. What's the value? This is the least. Maybe we can make the intention when we're going there, then it is like going for the sake of Allah. Maybe Allah will accept this because we have never gone to something hard in the sake of Allah. Maybe Allah will understand our weakness and give us the same reward that we hope. And then in the rest of the surah, there's in verse 42 that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said also, لَوْ كَانَ عَرَضًا قَرِيبًا وَسَفَرًا قَاصِدًا لَاتَّبَعُوكَ. Had the gain been immediate and the journey shorter, they would have followed you. But it's just because they're looking for the world gain. But when it is something for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we start to slack.
Again, the least we can do is to go and support our brothers, but just showing up in a demonstration or a peaceful rally to show the world that we are supporting them, that we are against this inhuman work that's being done to humans, and try to get the support from the world to try to help our sisters and brothers. If we can't help them, try to call for the support for them. Again, the event is in Victor's Timbrook Park, 2001 Western Avenue in Seattle. Just put this in your GPS. Try to ride your car to the place before noon. Try to show there with the intention that this is all what you can do. You want to be like the Sahaba when they went to Ghazwat Tabuk. And you don't want to be like the Munafiqeen when they stayed back because they wanted to take care of their gardens, they wanted to take care of their life, their work, their fantasy, their luxurious life, and instead of going in the heat. Alhamdulillah, you don't have to go through this. Alhamdulillah, we're not tested like them. But it's a small task for us. It's just to show up. You don't have to walk in the sun and the heat. You'll take your car to there and show up for 2 hours for the support of our brothers and sisters. Saturday, September 16th, from noon to 2 p.m. Again, I will conclude what we can do for our sisters and brother. First thing, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We say the dhikr every morning and every night. To thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the safety. I want you not to just thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say Alhamdulillah, but feel it in your heart. Just imagine what our brothers and sisters are going through and the safety and the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No matter what hardship you have today, no matter what bad day you have with your manager, with your work, with your food, with your health, but Allah gave you great bounty, which is safety, that we can go at night, sleep safe till the morning, not worried about explosion happening to us, not hearing screaming around us, not worried that someone will take us in the morning, torture us. And dua for them, When you have something that you want in this life, we usually make dua, sincere dua, and cry and ask for what we want in this life or for ourselves. Make sure you do that for the entire Ummah, for our brothers and sisters in Burma, for our brothers and sisters in Syria, for our brothers and sisters in Palestine that they've been in this all their life, for what's happening in Iraq, Chechnya, Afghanistan, Kashmir, for all the Muslim Ummah, for us, for yourself. Make dua for us, for the Ummah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And no matter what you do, we have to be tested. We're just going to this religion to feel the luxurious here and we want the Jannah for free. أم حسبتم أن تدخلوا الجنة ولما يأتكم مثل الذين خلوا من قبلكم مستهم البأساء والضراء وزلزلوا. Do you think you will enter the Jannah for free? In Surah Al-Baqarah. Didn't you hear about what happened to the nations before you? The Prophet ﷺ and his companion, they were tested heavily and shocked until they say, when is the victor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? When is the victory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Make sure you include them in your dua after each prayer. Go to www.burmamuslims.org, register there, sign up, and they will give you, it's like a task force for things like this rally, how to send documents to the governors. Try to learn. If you say, I don't have anything to do today in my hands, go there. There are things to teach you. Don't be afraid, oh, I might have a task that I need to do, or I might get emotionally affected. Just go and see what's going there. What can you do? Maybe there's something you can do. Make sure you attend the demonstration that will happen this Saturday, September 16th, from noon to 2 p.m. in Seattle. Make sure to have the intention when you're going there. Just read about Ghazwat Tabuk and Surah At-Tawbah. And have the intention like those great Sahaba when they went in this very hard task and test. Under the sun, they didn't have something to carry them. They didn't have fancy shoe to protect them from the heat of the ground. But they went. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah that we're not tested like them. Our task is so easy, is to go to Seattle. It's just we need to arrange our schedule, arrange the weekend day. And don't think, oh, that's not affected, that will not affect them. Have the intention. That's a great thing, because the intention, we get rewarded by intention. As the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. It's according to your intention. Just imagine you're doing something big, like those who are going to those Tabuk or going to those great causes for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is all what we do. Alhamdulillah, that's something easy in our hands. We don't have to sacrifice our life, we don't have to sacrifice our families, but we just sacrifice some enjoyment during the weekend to go and just stand for 2 hours. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we hope from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the reward of going in a great cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like those what the Sahaba suffered before. Allah knows our weakness, and He gave us easy opportunities. May Allah accept from all of us. Again, it's Saturday, September 16th from 12 to 2 p.m. in Victor Sternberg Park in Seattle. It's day after tomorrow, Saturday. Sign up in www.burmamuslims.org and make dua. May Allah protect our brothers and sisters in Burma. May Allah relieve them from what they have. May Allah give them victory and peace and safety. May Allah make them steadfast, give them patience to steadfast in their religion. And may Allah forgive our weakness and weakness to protect them or to try to help them. May Allah protect the Ummah. May Allah relieve the Ummah from all the pain that's happening. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. If you would like to get the rest of the series and get notification as we add more on this topic and other topics, please subscribe to Madarij As-Salikin. As you can see in the picture in front of you, just click subscribe. Madarij As-Salikin at gmail.com. It's MADAREJASSALEKEEN at gmail.com. So please subscribe and you'll get notification whenever there's a new episode or new session that has been recorded. Jazakumullah khairan. Don't forget us in your dua. May Allah make us benefit from what we say.